So this video is going to go through one of the past junior cert paper questions on orthographic projection. So the image below shows the design of an office printer, and this is draw part 1, an elevation in the direction of ROA. So basically we're drawing to the left. A plan projected from the elevation, so basically going below. Part 3, an end view in the direction of ROB, pointing towards the right. And then part 4 then is to label points C and D in all 3 views. We'll get to that at the end. So the first thing, as always, we're going to draw 3 boxes to fit our 3 views inside. So the elevation is going to go on the left. So I'm going to keep it over to the left hand side of my page. The total height is 115, so I'm going to go down an extra 10 mil, so about 125 mil, to keep it away from the top of the page. And I'm going to come in about 20 mil then. And that bottom corner there is basically going to be this bottom corner here. So the height of the object in total is 115, and the width we can see from the elevation, let's bring the question back in here, is 120 in total. So 120 across there, and that box is going to fit my elevation. So I just draw 2 little lines there. That is where my elevation is going to go. As always, my plan goes underneath that. So my widths are going to stay the same. So when we're looking at it, we're looking at heights, we're looking at widths, and we're looking at depths. So in elevation, we see heights and widths. When we look down top of an object, we don't see heights anymore. We see widths and we see depths of an object. So we already have the width. It's 120 wide, and we already have that marked off there and taken down. So next thing we need is our depths. So I'm going to put a gap about 20 mil in between the 2 views, just to separate them. And the depth of the object in total, if I look for measurements going this direction here, I can see over here I have 20 and 55. They add together to give you 75. And then for our end view, looking in the direction of ROB, we're dealing with heights and we're dealing with the depth. So we're no longer dealing with the width of the object. So the height we already have, we can take it across. Our depth we can take from our plan. So all we have to do is go off at 45 degrees from our 2 corners here, nearest to our end view. So on the right hand side here. And where they hit the bottom of our elevation, they go straight up. So remember, parallel lines, distances stay the same. So that distance is the same as that distance there. So now we have our 3 boxes. And I'm going to label my plan in here. And I'm going to use the same 2 heights here. And I'm going to label my end view there. So just zoom in a little bit now. So what you can see here with the sheet is I've added a bit of colour to it. So in the elevation, looking in this direction here, I have everything in brown that I'm going to see. So I'm going to see all of this surface here, and I'm going to see this here. So what I want to do is basically replicate that in this box. So the first thing I have is I have a straight line going all the way across from this corner to this corner, and then it goes all the way up until it hits the quarter circle, which is a radius of 20. So that means it's going to be going 20 down and 20 across to get that quarter circle there. We'll do the same thing here. Measure down 20. That's my quarter circle. It's going to start from here. And then I take a light line across. And I go in 20. And my quarter circle is going to fit in between there. So for the circle, then you need to get your compass to draw the quarter circle there. Like that. So then after that, we have a straight line going across. So you can see there from where the radius 20 goes, there's going to be another 10 mil, because 20 there, 30 in total, 10 mil left. So I go in our 10 there. And then there is a sloping line going down. and it is over 55 and down 20. The 20 I got for this point here is that line going around there, so it shows you that same height. So I already have my 20 actually taken down there, so all I can do is extend it across all the way to the end, and then go my extra 55 mil, and that gives me that corner there, and I connect them together, and then it's straight up, and then the next distance across 15 mil, and then there's a slope going down to the 20 then, so 15 mil across to there, and that slope going out to the edge there. After that then, it's down another 15 mil, and then it goes all the way across to where my 30 mil line, you can see where it goes down there. And we go down another 30. And that line goes all the way across to this point here, which is directly below this line going down. So I follow that down there. And then there's a slope going down after 30, additional 20, like that there. And then that goes all the way down to that corner there. And that is my elevation up this line as well, representing that line there. So that is my elevation there. For my plan, we're dealing with, once again, widths and depths. I already have all my widths from my elevation, so all I have to do is take them straight down. Save me remeasuring them again. And this one up there. And then basically you can see there I have it in yellow. What we're going to be seeing is we're going to be seeing this surface here, that surface there, that surface there, and that surface there. And everything else then is blocked underneath. So basically we're going to see a load of rectangles. So the whole outline is going to be heavy here. Like that. That rectangle there represents the slope. This thin rectangle here represents that. This large surface here is represented by that rectangle there. And then this line here, that represents where the curve starts there then. And this front section here is the curve itself. And that is our plan drawn in. So there's nothing else to that. And the last part then is our end view, looking this way, and I can see there I've had all covered in red from before. So we can see that kind of C shape, that rectangular surface there, and then we have this surface here at the back. So for end views, we're dealing with heights and we're dealing with depths. So for our heights, we can just take our heights from our elevation, that's where we got them from previously, like that there. And then for our depths, we get that from our excuse me, our plan. So you already have our lines taken across here. And actually there's one more line I should be including, is this line here. It's blocked, it's hidden detail, so we still draw that in, and that is 20 mil down this way. So apologies for that, just put that in before I move on. So it runs all the way to that back corner here, which is on this line here. So we should be putting that in to show that. And that gives us this one more line here going across and up. So the outline we're going to see here, I'm going to draw the letter C first. So you can see it's this line going all the way down, which is that height there. It goes up my 30, across to my 20. It goes up my 20 and my 30, across to the very edge again, up and over there. And then we have this line here going all the way up, which is this line here. And then that rectangular box there is that box there. This surface here is that surface that we can partially see here. If we looked in straight through, we'd see it all. And then this rectangle up here is the top surface, like that there. And that is part 3 complete. So we have our elevation, plan, and end view. And last thing then is asking you to label points C and D. So C and D we can see in 3D view. In plan, it would be C there and D there. So that line will be that line there. If we follow them up, there, my elevation. C and D there. That point there being that point. So if we look along it, we see C and D. And then our end view, if we follow C across, over and up, there's C. And if we follow D across, over and up, there's D there. So I hope that video helps anyone who may be stuck on that.